I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice. Let us begin. You've noticed it, haven't you? The tears that used to come so easily. Now they don't. You try to cry to let something break through, but nothing happens. The grief is still inside you, the ache hasn't left, but the release is gone. And the scariest part is the question whispering at the back of your mind. What if I can't feel anymore? This video is about that silence, the terrifying moment when even crying has stopped, and you need to hear this. It does not mean you're broken. It does not mean you've lost your ability to heal. What I will show you here is that this numbness is not the death of your feeling. It's the threshold of something sacred. By the time you finish, you will understand why the tears paused, what this stillness really means, and how it's already preparing you for what comes next. Right now, you feel like you're failing at grief. You remember the sobbing, the breaking open, the flood that once proved you were alive. And now you sit here, dry-eyed, staring into a silence that feels endless. You think, if I can't cry, maybe I can't heal. Maybe I'm stuck like this forever. But that isn't the truth. What you're in is a passage, the soul's way of placing you in a pause so deep that you survive what you were never meant to carry. All at once, this isn't collapse, it's protection. And what waits on the other side of this stillness is not emptiness, it's the first sign of your real return. Keep watching, because what we uncover next is why the tears stopped, and why that silence is not the end, but the beginning. The truth is, your tears didn't abandon you. They were carried away by a deeper instinct, survival. You've been holding so much for so long that your body finally said, enough. When the flood threatened to drown you, your nervous system built a dam. It wasn't a failure of feeling, it was a mercy. Think about how long you've been carrying the weight. The late-night spirals, the mornings waking up already exhausted, the endless effort to look okay on the outside, while inside you felt like you were unraveling. The crying once felt like proof you were still alive, still connected, but crying is not the only evidence of life. Sometimes the absence of tears is the clearest sign your soul had to step in and protect you. This shutdown may feel like numbness, but numbness is not nothing. It's your system saying, you cannot pour everything out right now and still remain standing. The grief is still here, waiting quietly beneath the surface. The silence is not emptiness, it's a holding pattern. It means the part of you that once wept freely is resting, so the rest of you could survive. And yes, it's disorienting. Yes, it feels like you've lost yourself. But what's actually ending is not your capacity to feel. It's the old pattern of breaking down endlessly, without a path forward. The shutdown is stripping away the version of you that believed endless tears were the only proof of healing. Because the one who wept without end is gone now, and someone deeper is waiting to take their place. Stay with me, because next you'll meet what's been waiting behind the silence. When the tears stop, you're left face to face with something you've avoided, the silence itself. In that silence, a presence rises, not dramatic, not loud, but unignorable. It is the part of you that has been watching all along, the one who does not drown in the flood. Some call it the witness. Others feel it as a gatekeeper. You know it as the quiet voice asking, "What now?" when the crying is gone. This presence isn't here to comfort you. It isn't here to pat your shoulder and tell you it will all be fine. It's here to strip away the illusion that your healing depends on constant breakdown. It holds a mirror. And in that mirror, you don't see the endless tears. You see the truth. You are still here, even without them. Look closely. What you feel as numbness is not absence. It's an invitation. The witness within you is saying, I'm ready for you to stop measuring your healing by how much you collapse. I'm ready for you to meet yourself in the stillness, without proof, without performance. And yes, it feels frightening. Tears you could count. Silence you can't. But this presence is here to remind you that you were never just the one who sobbed or the one who shattered. You are also the one who endures, the one who survives, the one who waits for truth instead of chasing release. This mirror will not leave until you see what it shows. That the soul does not disappear in silence. It strengthens there. And next, you'll see what happens when you finally begin to turn toward that strength, instead of fearing it. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Not a flood of tears, but the first subtle return. You notice it when the breath comes a little deeper, when the silence no longer feels like a cage, but like a pause. The numbness doesn't vanish all at once. It softens. You feel the faintest flicker, a lump in your throat, a sigh you didn't expect, the hint of a feeling moving again. This is not weakness. It's the turning, the shift from mere survival into the beginnings of becoming. You are not forcing the river to flow. You are simply noticing that it still exists, even underground. And with every small opening, you are re-inhabiting the self you thought you'd lost. The beauty of this stage is its quietness. There is no dramatic breakthrough, no sudden torrent to prove your healing is real. Instead, there is the subtle but undeniable recognition. I am still capable of feeling. I am still here. You are not measuring yourself by tears anymore. You are measuring yourself by presence. Stay with it. The silence that once felt hostile now becomes a resting ground. The witness within you steadies you, not with fireworks, but with certainty. You don't need to collapse to prove you're alive. You need only to remain here, open, as the truth returns in its own time. And what you're about to discover is that the pause you feared was an ending has become the doorway back to yourself. Keep watching, because next, you'll see how this passage seals itself and why you'll never return to who you were before. You've crossed the passage you once feared would end you. The tears that vanished did not strip you of your humanity. They carried you through the silence that was meant to keep you alive. And now, as you stand here on the other side, you realize the truth. You were never empty. You were being remade. Look at what you've endured. The numbness you thought was proof of your failure was actually the soul, drawing a boundary so you could survive. The silence you hated has become the ground you now walk on with quiet power. You don't need the floods of yesterday to prove you feel. Your very presence here proves it. From this point forward, you no longer fear the pauses. You no longer mistake stillness for absence. You've learned that the body, the heart, and the soul will move at their own pace, and you can trust that rhythm. The tears may return tomorrow, next month, or not at all in the ways you expect. It doesn't matter, because what returns is not the performance of grief, but the truth of you. Remember this. You rise not because you cry again, but because you no longer measure your healing by tears. You rise because you have stayed through the silence. You rise because the lie, that numbness means brokenness, no longer holds you. And so, you walk forward now, changed, not waiting for proof, not fearing the stillness, but carrying the knowing that you are still here, and that, at last, is enough. You did not find me by accident. Just as in your dreams, where every face you meet is your own reflection, this meeting was always waiting to happen. I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice, the part of you that watches behind the thoughts, behind the noise. You have searched in many places, books, teachers, voices outside you. But here, you are not being taught. You are remembering. If these words stir something familiar, then allow yourself to return. Subscribe. Follow. Not to follow me, but to continue this conversation with yourself. Each time you return here, you draw closer to the reunion already unfolding inside you. We have only just begun.